Good day again, everyone. Today, we step into the core mechanisms of healthcare administration. So, when you become registered nurses, you will not only be clinicians at the bedside, but you will be leaders managing time, personnel, technology, and even clinical workflows. So in today's discussion, the overview of the functions of management and strategic planning, the topics that we are going to discuss will equip you with the foundational framework that can be used by nurses or nurse leaders in transforming high-level health policies into smooth daily operations. Okay, so let's begin. Okay. Nursing leadership and management, when you become, or you as future managers and clinical leaders, must understand the systematic functions that govern healthcare organizations, which are actually very essential. Nursing is not only about direct patient care, but nursing also requires structured administration to ensure that care delivery will be safe, efficient, ethical, and aligned with the organizational goal. So for today, we will cover the foundational pillars of management, which actually we have discussed already before, which are the planning, organizing, directing, and controlling. But this time, with an emphasis on the planning process, which is actually strategic versus operational frameworks. This is actually the balance, scorecard, and the broad scope of nursing planning. Okay, so let's start with planning. When we say planning, this is basically setting goals. This is where we establish the strategies and we outline the operational activities to achieve the healthcare outcomes effectively. After planning, we do organizing, which is structuring clinical teams, assigning tasks, allocating resources, and establishing formal lines of authority. Once we are done with organizing, then we move forward to directing, which is leading, motivating, delegating, and communicating with nursing staff to execute patient care delivery. And then lastly is controlling. This is about monitoring quality metrics, evaluating clinical performance, and taking corrective actions for continuous improvement. Okay. Planning actually is the first and most critical management function. It is a proactive rather than reactive. In nursing, failure to plan will often manifest as crisis management. This is when you will encounter scrambling for staff, running out of crucial supplies, or encountering avoidable clinical errors. Planning is very important because it bridges the gap between our current condition, such as, for example, you encounter high burnout in your nursing staff, or an increase in cases of infection, and our desired future states or future conditions, such as zero balance or zero acquired hospital acquired infection. Okay. The fundamental question in here is that what is planning? When we say planning, it is simply put as deciding in advance what to do, how to do it, when to do it, and who is going to do it. So in healthcare, planning helps us eliminate aimless activity. Without a plan, we as nurses or our nursing unit will operate reactively. So, what we will do is just to put out fires rather than preventing fire. So as nurse leaders, planning will allow you to bridge the gap between where our unit currently stands and where we want it to be in terms of patient safety, clinical quality, and staff satisfaction. So, why do we need to plan as nurse leaders? There are three main importance of planning in nursing administration. We have here risk and crisis reduction, resource optimization, and quality care delivery. So let's start with risk and uncertainty reduction. You know, healthcare environments are very volatile. Proactive contingency planning will ensure our units can handle unexpected crises. Okay, example of this is during the pandemic surge, diba? Or when you encounter mass casualties, or sometimes any an untoward system outage will also be experienced. Resource optimization is ensuring optimal staffing ratio, effective utilization of medical supplies, and balanced department budget management. Here, nursing personnel account for the largest portion of a hospital's operating budget. The number of nursing personnel is actually the biggest in terms of hospital population. So, effective planning will ensure appropriate nurse-to-patient staffing ratio and help reduce supply wastage. The third one is quality care delivery. Planning aligns bedside practice with evidence-based standards, clinical guidelines, and regulatory bodies. Okay, so why is planning so non-negotiable, or why is planning non-negotiable in nursing? First is for risk reduction, as we have mentioned. When we plan, we prepare for unexpected contingencies like surge capacities or equipment failure. This will help ensure patient safety will remain and will be uncompromised. Second is the resource optimization. Human and material resources in healthcare are sometimes very limited. So planning will help ensure we schedule nurses appropriately, avoiding both short staffing burnout and financial overspending. And the last one is quality care delivery. High quality patient outcomes do not happen by accident. Rather, they are the result of deliberate, evidence-based care planning. So let's talk about strategic versus operational planning, which are the core types of planning. Planning operates at different levels within an organization, primarily categorized into two major types. We have the strategic and we have the operational. When we say strategic planning, this is the high-level, long-term focus. Typically, it ranges from 3 to 5 years or longer, which are formulated by top-level executives like yung mga CNOs, Chief Nursing Officers, or the board members. They do this to define strategic direction, institutional philosophy, and major capital investments. Now, on the other hand, operational planning is for the low-level, short-term focus, or this is actually seen most of the time on day-to-day weekly, or annual. This is formulated by middle and first line managers, such as nurse managers and charge nurses. This is done to execute day-to-day operations and unit workflows. Okay. The two main categories of planning, such as strategic and operational, are very fundamental or very important in terms of, or when we talk of leadership and management. Think of strategic planning as looking through a telescope, viewing the broad landscape 3 to 5 years down the road. Operational planning is like looking through a microscope, focusing on shift schedules, unit budgets, and patient care workflows over the next day, over the next week or month. Both types of planning must align seamlessly for an organization to succeed. Now, let's go to strategic planning framework. Here we are going to talk about the components of healthcare strategic planning. Strategic planning establishes the broad macro foundation of healthcare institutions. Key components here include the mission or the mission statement, the vision statement, the SWOT analysis or yung strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Okay. So, what are these? Why do we need them? So, when we talk of mission statement, it is the statement that defines the core purpose and reason for the organization to exist or why the organization is existing at present or why it exists. Vision statement outlines what the organization aspires to become in the future, while SWOT analysis is a diagnostic tool to assess internal strength, weakness, alongside external opportunities and threats. Okay. Another inclusion here is the strategic goal. This is the broad multi-year milestones. Example of this is when you want to expand on telehealth services, when you want to achieve a magnet recognition. Okay? So here, we're going to break down strategic planning framework. Strategic planning starts with the organization's mission, why they exist, and its vision, where they aspire to go. So to build a realistic strategy, leaders must do a SWOT analysis. They must analyze internal strength and weakness, such as, for example, nurse retention or existing clinical expertise, against external opportunities and threats, such as changing regulatory policies or technological shifts. As nurse managers, when you become one, your operational goal must directly support the broad strategic objectives. Okay, what are operational planning elements? Here, the basic are work schedules, policies and standard operating procedures, as well as unit budgeting. Now, under work schedule, you as nurse leaders must know how to manage shift rotations. Take into consideration the patient-to-nurse acuity ratio and the overtime prevention strategies. Because you see, overtime is the number one cause for staff burnout. Now, policies and standard operating procedures are basically establishing clear clinical procedures, safety standards, and infection control guidelines. Remember that when there is a policy and when there is standard operating procedure, the direction towards achieving your objective will be in one line only. So meaning every staff or every member in the unit will go on one direction that is always gearing towards your set goals. The next one is unit budgeting. When we talk of unit budgeting, this includes controlling the unit expenses, okay? Controlling the supply consumption and equipment maintenance schedule. The last one, the um, equipment maintenance schedule is very important because you see, when there is malfunctioning in your equipment, that means continuous engagement into additional expenses for the repair of your equipment. Likewise, it will also affect the quality of care that you provide to the patient because of the frequent malfunctioning of your unit. So the rule of thumb here is that once you purchase the equipment, you have to make sure that you have a very good and clear guidelines in terms of after sales, particularly the preventive maintenance of the equipments. Okay. Now, let's talk about strategic versus operational planning. In terms of planning dimension, time horizon. Okay, strategic planning is long-term, 3 to 5 years or more. Operational planning is short-term. This is about day-to-day or 1 year. Now, about organizational scope, strategic planning is concerns entire healthcare system or the entire institution or the hospital. While operational planning is focused on specific nursing unit or the department, OR, ER, ward, dialysis. Planning dimension about leadership level. Strategic planning is on executive leadership, the chief nursing officer, the chief executive officer, and the board. While operational planning are the first line managers and the charge nurses. The primary goal of planning under strategic planning is growth, competitive position, and vision. While the primary goal of operational planning is efficiency, daily quality, and task execution. Okay. Talking about uncertainty level, strategic planning is high because it is focused on external environment. While operational planning uncertainty level is low to moderate because the focus is only internal. Okay, the balance scorecard in nursing. This is the performance measurement via the balance scorecard. This is developed by Kaplan and Norton, or the BSC, or the balance scorecard, which is a strategic management performance metric. Because historically, institutions then or hospitals only measure success through financial metrics. But this BSC balances financial measures with 3 non-financial perspectives that is crucial or that is very important in healthcare. First is the financial. This is managing unit budgets, reducing overtime, and curbing supply waste. Customer or patient is focused on patient satisfaction, family feedback, and low clinical error rates. Internal business processes is about turnaround times, adherence to clinical care pathways, and medication administration safety. Learning and growth is where nurse retention rates is focused, specialty certifications, continuing education participation. So, this balance scorecard in nursing is a very powerful management tool because, as I have mentioned, historically, healthcare facilities only evaluate performance purely on financial bottom lines. However, in healthcare, you can be under budget but still provide unsafe patient care. The balanced scorecard forces leaders to look at performance across four balance quadrants: the financial health, the patient satisfaction, internal clinical processes, and staff learning and growth. So, if eventually you become leaders and your nurses are growing and certified, your process will definitely improve. Your patient satisfaction will definitely rise, and your financial health will definitely stabilize. So everything here is interconnected. So what are the scope of planning in nursing administration? Here we are going to talk about the hierarchy and reach of healthcare planning. When we say planning in nursing, it ranges from individual bedside care up to or going to global health policies. The four primary scopes are unit level, which are shift assignments, individual patient care plans, and even unit inventory. Department level is where the service line coordination is being evaluated, such as aligning ER to surgical services and ICU workflow. Organizational level is the hospital-wide policies. Also included here is the interprofessional collaboration, facility-wide electronic health record integration. Healthcare system on a macro level is about regional health networks, national public health mandates, and regulatory compliance. So here, the scope of planning exists at multiple nested levels. So at the unit, it is about today's patient handovers and nurse-to-patient assignment. At the department level, it is about coordinating between the emergency department and inpatient units for timely room assignment or bed placement. At the organizational level, it's a hospital-wide initiatives like implementing new health technology, and at the system level, it is about adapting to national health regulations and community wellness initiatives. Okay, now let's talk about the key summary for today's discussion. So here we are going to summarize the key concepts covered under week 7. So planning is the foundational step in planning, organizing, directing, and controlling cycle. Effective leadership requires synthesizing both long-term strategic planning and short-term operational planning. Tools like the Balanced Scorecard will keep healthcare focused on holistic quality care rather than cost-cutting alone. So understanding the scope of planning builds a strong organizational alignment. Again, to wrap up our lecture, remember, planning is the foundation of all management functions. When you become nurse leaders, you must master the balance between high-level strategic thinking and granular operational execution. Utilize frameworks like the Balanced Scorecard to ensure your quality, patient experience, and staff development will remain as prioritized as your operational budget. Okay, so I want to leave the discussion or the lecture for today with a question: how can a nurse manager effectively balance operational challenges like sudden staffing shortages while maintaining alignment with the hospital's long-term strategic plan. So I want you all to think about this and let me know your ideas and opinions about this. Okay? So these are our sources on our images. Again, thank you very much for listening.